Then what are the strategies that you want to employ if you're a man today and you want women to like you? So I think the first thing, and this is where I kind of say, step away from the goal. So step away with the goal of getting this person. It sounds like you sort of call this the fear of loss, which is step away from that, right? Be who you are. You can plant a seed and you can water it every day, but you can't make it grow. The human beings, if you really look at what human beings truly have control over, we only have control over this. Everything else has some element of randomness to it. I cannot mind control another human being. I can barely mind control myself. And so this, I think, is the big thing, is that we get way too caught up. This is my approach, right? Is we get way too caught up in trying to get a girl to like me. And I think this is true, which is why you get to the same conclusion, is you focus on yourself. You focus on detachment from the outcome, and you focus on the task in the present, not where you want to go. So I think this may sound surprising, but maybe you know this because you've done your research, right? So if you ask me, like, what's my goal with Healthy Gamer and all the work that, I don't have one. I really don't. I just show up every single day because I have no idea if I'm going to be alive tomorrow. I do plan for the future because chances are, probabilistically, I will be alive, but I don't control life or death. I don't know if the world is going to end with a nuclear eruption tomorrow, or our magnetic poles are going to flip, or all manner of other things. What do I truly control? I just control what I do. The whole problem with people and women is that we spend so much time trying to control another human being. How do I get this girl to like me? How do I get my boss to promote me? How do I do this? How do I do this? How do this? We spend so much energy trying to control the thing that we fundamentally have the least control over, instead of focusing on, how do I control this? How do I turn this into the best possible version of what it is? And as you move in that direction, this is when dating will become way easier. So what happened with me is, not only did I get one girlfriend who eventually became a wife, but now I had even more detachment. So then when I was working in the hospital, suddenly, like, all these nurses and stuff started hitting on me. And I was like, what the fuck is this? I went through all of my adolescent and teenage years with women not batting an eyelash, even looking in my direction. They looked in the other way. And I realized that here I am, an authentic guy. I can afford to be smart. I can afford to be funny. I don't care what this girl thinks. I'm not trying to get with her. And suddenly this is when I start to attract other women. So I think practically what we need to do is, and I'm all for, like, falling in love and stuff like that, and then go for it, right? But even then, there's some amount of detachment that you can cultivate. So that's what I did, which is sort of like acknowledging that I can, even though I'm love, I'm going to enjoy the experience. Right? Let's see where this goes. And this may result in heartbreak, but that's part of life. I don't get to choose whether I get heartbroken or this person falls in love with me too. So that there's a lot of stuff that you don't control. Don't focus on that. Focus on yourself. And then I'm not saying that focus on yourself to the point of ignoring other things. Like, don't just focus, if you go to the gym every single day, but you never approach a woman, it's not going to work. So you have to take the actions, but you're not entitled to the fruits of your actions. So all I'm entitled to in life is what I do. I don't get to control whether my company is successful or not successful, whether this podcast is successful or not successful. That's not in my control. It's not in your control. We can optimize things. We can prepare for them. We can cultivate all the right attitudes. But at the end of the day, who knows? There could be this power outage and everything, all the power goes out, and then we're SOL. So what you should really focus on, first of all, is don't get overly caught up in one particular person. If you feel love, just acknowledge it, observe it, notice how wonderful it is and how painful it is to be in love. Focus on what you can control, focus on the actions, observe yourself. And then the last thing is to try to shed as much baggage as you can. Because all of your prior relationships will form things like resentments, conclusions, and you will project your past experience into current situations in your relationship, which will sabotage your relationship. Recognize that each person you are dating is a completely new person. And what I sort of see with people who are held back is they will interpret neutral stimuli in the dating world as negative based on their past experience. I texted this girl, she didn't text back in 10 minutes. That means she's not into me. We make all of these conclusions based on completely neutral stimuli. The reason she didn't text you back is maybe her phone died, maybe her phone got stolen. There are all kinds of different things on the differential diagnosis. But it's the conclusions that we jump to in our mind that sabotages us the most.